It's very sad, isn't it? Because it's only a tiny crack, he said,
yeah.
and he hopes that just a couple of 3 weeks will fix it, and he'll be back at Spielberg at the Red Bull Ring at our next event. Let's keep our fingers crossed for him.
Well, there we go. Here's a reminder of your grid then. We saw the front row, we know who that is. Then you have Morelli, Moodley, Boggio, Pugliese, Peroni and Christian Daniel there in 9th place despite a crash in FP2 yesterday ahead of qualifying. Danish starts from 10th ahead of Famara and Pratama. Then you've got Thompson, Pavelec, who had a great result here. He's got a bunch of his cousins and siblings here supporting him in Assen, only a 7-hour drive from Poland. Then you've got Zanni alongside him, Ramersdorfer, Plonka and Sullivan Mounsey, Varkas, Belford, Pons, Puertazan, Sessler and Monignane, the last of the 24 riders here racing this week.
Yeah, and I think Milan Palek was really pleased with the way things went in practice. He has he had a started the year with an injury. He overcome that, and he's really clicked here. Of course, it doesn't help that he does have the long lap penalty. So this is the warming up lap. Guys' last chance to have a good look at things and just see where, and somebody's zooming off there to see what the long lap penalty track will look like. And of course, well, in fact, there's a whole load of them. A good idea, and they'll take a practice so you know where you're going.
I'll tell you what, Peter, plenty of rubber down in there because it got a lot of use in the Moto E race just before this as well. So, yeah, not a bad idea for those riders. As we come down the back straight here then, worth noting, actually, although we don't want to do too many spoilers, but who cares, it's only qualifying day. What better advert for Rookies Cup have we got than Angel Paqueras, last year's champion, who got a double victory here on pole position in Moto3.
Well, I'm glad you're going to get the abuse for telling everybody what happened.
I don't care. Bring it on. Lay it on me, everybody.
But it was stunning, wasn't it? Absolutely superb. And, you know, and he took it away from Colin Fire. And Colin he had that pole, but then he sort of spat himself off.
Tyre Furisato in the middle of them.
In the middle of them, that's right. It's superb, wasn't it? I tell you what was absolutely incredible when you watch the slow-mo of Colin's crash, how you saw the Alpine Stars Tech Air go off. You know, as soon as he was launched into the air, the airbag goes to the Alpine Stars Tech Air goes off, and he landed on his back, but it was so well cushioned that he was able to, you know, walk away from it.
He's absolutely okay for tomorrow. Give our former rookies a big cheer heading into the race tomorrow. Last year's rookie, also another graduate, Jacob Rolston, included. That's right.
So we're coming round to the grid now. We are looking forward to 15 laps. We've got, I think, 9 guys have got to go the long lap penalty. And of course, you know, normally the thing to do is to get it done soon, but you can't do it on the first lap, as Max Kies found out at Mugello a couple of weeks ago.
Yes. So hopefully they've all been watching Born Racers and can find out about that. Anyways, revs are going up very shortly.
Yeah, that's right. So they've got to wait a couple of laps before they can do the long lap penalty, but then they really should get it done. There'll be a queue for it. Okay, on pole position then, Alvaro Carpe, Rico Samela, Brian O'Reilly start as well.
What's happened?
Somebody
Morelli's down! No, Marco!
Possible.
Come on! Oh, what a... Oh, dearie me, that is a flap and a half for Morelli.
And of course, he also fell off at the first lap, the second corner, I think it was in Le Mans, so what a disaster for him. It is Alvaro Carpe on the number 83, the pole man who leads. Somebody's off on the blue stuff.
That was Christian Daniel Jr. going wide at turn 7 there, a real problem area for many riders here today. Moto3, Moto2, MotoGP alike.
And so Rico on the 27 is up into second place, and I think is that, oh, there he went wide. And the 73, of course, is the other Argentine, Valentin Peroni. He had a superb run in FP2. Didn't get it all together for the qualifying, but he's certainly got it together now.
He sits 4th in the championship with 90 points, just 20 off Max Kiles' lead then. Peroni, your most recent race winner in Rookies Cup. And there we have it. The riders are being told they have a long lap penalty, so from lap 2, they can begin to enter the long lap penalty lane.
Up into second place is the 51 of Brian Uriarte. And he is hounding Carpe already. Up into second place, out onto the start and finish to complete the first of 15 laps.
And up into 4th is Vader Pratama, the Indonesian, up from 12th spot on the grid. What a lap that was for Vader.
Yeah, and of course, you know, it's a new track for him, a lot to learn, but he's certainly learnt it quickly. It didn't come together in qualifying, but it's certainly come together now. He's obviously a racer. And there is the number 95 of Morelli. Obviously, the bike not seriously damaged, but he is way, way behind.
He will be absolutely livid with himself, bless him. I did see the riders sit up through there. I thought that was a bit cautious, maybe cold tyres or something. Here's what happened to Morelli. Goes round and, oh, and a bit of a high side there. On the gas too much. Maybe a bit of a cold tyre for him. But he's straight up and back on the bike.
Dear, dear, dear.
Come on, Morelli.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Well, there we have it. Bless him.
And of course, you know, his Alpine Stars Tech Air will have gone off and saved him serious injury there. And these guys do have 2 canisters, so they can run again and still have another airbag to go, another airbag to look after themselves. Valentino Peroni, he is up into the lead now, but he is one of those who has to take a long lap penalty.
And I don't think any of the riders have actually completed long lap penalty yet, not according to our timing screens at least.
Well, we haven't seen anybody either, have we? Because Uriarte, he's in 2nd place, the number 51. He doesn't have to take a long lap penalty.
Well, here we come then into the final sector. This is part of the original Assen circuit. What a ribbon of asphalt this is. Look at them all funnel in there into Rushkenhoek and up to the GT chicane. One of the best final sectors you could ever wish to race in a Grand Prix motorcycle racing calendar.
And Peroni now comes through to lead, but surely he's going to take an early trip down the long lap penalty lane.
That's the 24 of Guillaume Plong. As all the riders get told they can take the long lap penalty now. Salomon Mounty is actually the first rider to complete it.
Right, good for him.
Veda Pitama goes through into 3rd place. Bunch of riders hands up because they are all pulling into the long lap penalty.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 at least on this lap. As she said, Salomon Mounty's already done it. And they come screaming out. How many places did they lay? Like, where is Peroni? 73, Matt. Where's he come out?
Peroni is... did he take that time? He's come out in about 8th, 9th place. There he is, with Carpe and Rico. They've just got ahead of...
Yeah, 11th. He's come out 11th, Peroni. So he went from 1st to 11th.
So, Indonesia, stand up because your boy's leading ahead of Brian Uriarte. But for how long? Let's see. Plonk moves up into 2nd place. He's who I was going to mention when all the riders went into the long lap penalty lane. What a ride this is from the Frenchman.
Yeah, I mean, he's been just very middling for diddle in the Cup so far this season, but he's certainly changed that around now, hasn't he? Up into 2nd place behind Veda Pitama. Absolutely superb stuff. And ahead of Brian Uriarte.
You've been waiting to use that line all season long, haven't you? Quality, love it. Well, Veda Pitama comes onto this beautiful section, onto the back straight, pretty much, or one of the couple of back straights, really, as they go right and then funneling left into Rushkenhoek. Looks like however many of the riders have all completed it.
7, I think.
Nearly all of them, I think.
Yeah. Anyway, yes, I think 7 of 9 have done it. Anyway, okay, but back in with the leader. Veda Pitama it is from Indonesia. The 15-year-old has the advantage. Brian Uriarte on 51. The 24 of Guillaume Plonk is there as well. You're on board probably with Brian, I would think. Yes, indeed, but up the inside, who is that? Goes slotted up the inside.
Moodley, there he is.
Yes,
looking for his first podium and victory. First podium of the year, first victory in Rookies Cup. The number 11 had a special visit from Brad Binder along with Keita Molinari, his countryman, on Thursday. And here he is, doing the business, up into 2nd place.
And we were talking about, you know, with Colin Fire, this corner of the Struben there, and you could see the tight line going in. It doesn't help you get out onto this straight, so important. But as Colin said, 2 ways to do this. Morelli the fastest lap.
Oh, bless him. He'll be furious at that, won't he?
Oh, dear, poor chap. 54, Veda Pitama. But it is the South African on the number 11, Ruche Moodley, who leads.
And what a line that was. Oh, who's that getting pushed wide? Boggio, very miffed with that one. I think that was Leonardo Zanni, potentially his countryman, pushing him wide. He got bogged right down in the 47. He's now down in 11th place, just ahead of his great mate, Giulio Pugliese.
So it's Ruche Moodley that leads, but it is Brian Uriarte who's up into 2nd place, ahead of Veda Pitama, and 24 Guillaume Plonk is back into 4th place. Just seeing Peroni, who we saw, he took a long lap penalty and dropped to 11th, is back up to 9th.
A good couple of bike lengths splitting Ruche Moodley in 2nd place, Brian Uriarte through there, then the final corner, final set of corners. Here we come. I've got to say, I'm kind of flabbergasted at Plonk's form here. I mean, this is absolutely incredible. Where did he come from on the grid? All the way...
It's 16 guys in this lead battle. It is 16 riders. Absolutely incredible stuff.
Plonk came from 17th on the grid.
Yeah.
And he's in 3rd. I mean, that is just sensational. Riders in the long lap penalty lane aside, that is a heck of a couple of opening laps.
That it is indeed, isn't it? Wow. Yeah, and then where did you say he's 70? The 1:45.723 he did in qualifying. They're now doing, well, they're still in the 1:45 bracket, but the mid 45s. So I suppose, you know, I was wondering whether he's got a bike set up really to run this fast, but they're not going that much faster than he did in qualifying. So still, it is the 11th of Ruche Moodley with the advantage. Plonk, as we were saying, was up into 2nd place. He's just been pushed aside by Brian Uriarte.
Keep an eye on our one-time winner so far this year, Alvaro Carpe. Won race 2 in Jerez. He is the rider leading the charge for the ones that went through the long lap penalty. He's behind Plong now. He's in about 5th place, but he's going to move up the inside of the Frenchman. There he goes, the 83. He got a victory in the Junior GP last time out, last weekend in Portimao. So he is heaping with confidence.
Right, and we've already had 5 different winners in the 6 races of 14 we've had so far. And Ruchet starting to open up. That's the first sign of that we've had in this race. Of course, we've still got 11 laps to go, but Ruchet certainly putting the hammer down.
And Carpe, he is right on his tail then. Through he comes into 2nd place, does the Spaniard. He sees the opportunity of the series leader, Quiles, watching from home on the sidelines. He wants to take over at the top, but he's not going to get it easy. The 11 of Ruchet Moodley wants that first victory more than anything. Here he is into turn 1. Carpe into the lead.
Carpe, superb stuff on the brakes there across the other side of the racetrack to Ruchet Moodley. And Brian Uriarte doesn't want to see Carpe disappear. He wants to get on his tail as well. Different lines here as we were talking to Colin. Who's going to go up the inside? Tight on the inside. Brian Uriarte goes quite tight. Carpe comes around the outside and he pulls away. You see, he's got the pull, got the jump on Brian Uriarte as they go down the back straight.
Up from 15th on the grid is Leonardo Zanni, the Italian, now into 5th place as well. This is a great ride from him. Assen, another rider circuit, a bit like Mugello. Lots of flow to it. These cambered corners, it looks very flat, but these corners got a lot of camber to them. If you can get into the zone, really find your flow, that's where the talent really shines through.
And just noticing, looking down, and Peroni is up into 6th place. He was leading before he took the long lap penalty. He's now back up to 6th. You're looking back at the 51 of Brian Uriarte. And then the number 11 of Ruchet Moodley. The leader is still the 83 of Alvaro Carpe, who is doing an absolutely sensational job.
Even really process what was happening. Goodness me, he's kept it pinned like he was doing an MXGP race.
Yeah, no
Uriarte, goodness me.
Yeah, he's a star. I think he really signed. Gruen Clark, who was featuring up the front so much on the number 24, he's now dropped back to 11th. So it's all changed here. Rico having a look up the inside, can't do it. It is still Carpe who has the slightest advantage over Peroni.
Uriarte,
and there's 51. Brian Uriarte had a big moment there. What happened there?
He's really trying. He's trying very hard. I was about to say he brought out the red flags in FP1 because he had a massive crash at turn 17. He, and to quote him, sent it into the final corner, hit the bump that's there on the exit, and went over the handlebars. And his bike was in the middle of the track, so they had to red flag it. He sent it nearly twice on this lap alone. He is definitely trying very, very hard. He's now down in 12th place.
It tucked big time. And then, didn't he? He did remarkably well to save it, but it's still... Peroni who now, I think he picked up, he's actually the first time that he's actually led this race. He might have done fractionally before he had the long lap penalty, but he certainly has recovered from that, as did Alvaro Carpe. Rico Salmela in third place, but they've got Vader Pratama pressuring them very hard.
Morelli Watch, ladies and gents, is up into 7th place now. He's 17th place, sorry. He's 9 seconds still off the lead, but I reckon he's going to pick off Milan Pavelec, but then he's got a big task to get to Leo Ramersdorfer for that first point.
Down the back straight, but it's not so straight. It is the 73 of Valentin Peroni, 16-year-old Argentine, that leads. You're looking back at the 57 of Lorenzo Zani. It's all action. It's still 15 down to Ramersdorf, as you say.
So he's at the back of this group here.
Pawlak and Morelli off the back of there.
So if you're not in this group, you ain't getting a point, basically. Goodness me. I mean, how brutal does it get in Rookies Cup?
Well, you're right, because Morelli, they've got, 7 seconds to make up in 7 laps, and that's a tall order.
He's not lapping that fast. He's going very quick, but not that quick. You've got in the mix of this one as well, Plunk's still there, Uriarte, Pons is in it. That's the best we've seen from him so far this year. Great stuff from him. As look at them all fan out through Rushkenhoek here and up to the GT chicane. Just brilliant, isn't it, to watch? And Vader Pratama, though. I mean, oh, goodness me, he had a big slide through there. That was nearly a commentator's curse for the ages. Nearly made it onto some sports montage thing on some obscure channel somewhere.
But he got away with it, didn't he? He did get away with it. And in fact, it's given Alvaro Carpe a bit of a break, because obviously everybody else sort of backed off as they saw him nearly lose it. It is the 73 of Valentin Peroni now up into 2nd place, and Pratama is a 3rd ahead of Salmela Zanoni.
And there's Christian Daniel Jr. just all over the back there of Brian Uriarte. The American is having a very good ride out. You've got to commend him. 9th place is where he qualified. This is what happened to Uriarte before, Peter. Look at this. Out onto those, they're called the Misano curves because they get progressively more violent the further out you go. They're meant to deter going beyond track limits, and then he ends up on the grass.
Yeah.
Look at that. Absolutely pinned still, but there's not a lot of grip on there.
No. And then he nearly lost it, and he had the front tuck on it. There we go.
Look at that.
That was big, wasn't it? That was big.
And Brian's quite deceptively tall as well, isn't he? So he's using those long limbs to his advantage.
I wonder whether it's possible that some dust got on the front wheel from that excursion. You would think that the centrifugal force would throw it all off, but it was a really strange, a big tuck, wasn't it?
Big time. He's up to 8th now as Uriarte, so I'm sure within no time at all, 6 laps left, he'll be coming back through. Here the riders come through Holger Heider, the right-hander before the left, the double left, and long sweep up to the GT chicane as well. This is where you want to set up a final 3-corner move, because that's basically what the GT chicane is, isn't it? Turn 16, 17 and 18.
Yeah, that's right. And there are 2 places on the track which are really quick, 6 speed. There's the back sort of straight, which is 217 kilometres an hour, and then the front, the front straight here, you only just get up into 6th, actually. But as you say, that section you were talking about, Matt, those fast left-hander leading back to the start and finish, that's 221 kilometres an hour, slightly quicker than the straight that they're coming to now.
Keep your eye on the 27, Rico Salmela there, just sitting very, touch wood, comfortably behind Alvaro Carpe. I've never seen Rico so determined as I have this weekend. He really wants that string of bad luck to end. He wants the podium and he wants the win here.
And if you're still talking miles an hour, it's 217 kilometres, 135 miles an hour here before you flick it into the left-hander.
Oh, I can see the 16 of Joel Pons has gone down, unfortunately. That's been a great ride from him. A huge shame to see, because I think he's made a big step in his riding for Rookies Cup this weekend. There he is, all okay.
He's all okay. You're right, he has taken a big step, because he's an enormously talented rider. He just hasn't been able to get to grips with it. Seemed to have happened this weekend, but unfortunately now has gone a step back as well.
Well then, we have Carpe out front, that very distinctive style. We're looking back from him at Peroni, the Argentinian. Salmela's in 3rd. Pratama, still there, in 4th place. He's not as fresh as some of these other riders. He doesn't compete in the European Talent Cup or Junior GP. I think he must have gone home to Indonesia in the 3 weeks between here and Mugello. He is doing a stellar performance here, as is Pugliese, looking up his inside there for 5th.
But it's with 4 laps remaining now. It is Alvaro Carpe on the 83, who leads from Peroni, Salmela, Pratama, Pugliese, Iriarte. Go on, put your money down, Matt. Who's it going to be?
Oh, I'm going to say it's got to be Alvaro Carpe. He's just riding that wave of confidence lately. Junior GP wins. He's so determined more than ever. He's like a proper little shark, isn't he? He can smell the blood in the water of the championship leader not here, and he wants to grasp it with both hands. But what about Sal Mella?
Yeah, no, you have no idea what you're talking about. It's Valentin Peroni all the way, with Rico second and Alvaro third.
Oh, there we go. But what about this guy? He's not a Dutch tribute. It's Brian Iriarte. That's his distinctive orange helmet there. He's back up into 5th place. Will he send it for the win or send it at the scenery? He tried twice to do the latter, but fortunately kept it upright.
Yeah, and you're looking back at the 27 of Rico Salmela in 2nd place. You're on board with Carpe. Just hitting the rev limiter there before he flicks it into the left-hander. You can hear the engine stutter in 6th gear. On the rev limiter.
Iriarte just nerfs Pratama out the way there then. Coming through, no second invitation needed. Look at this, Salmela going for the lead. Oh, through the inside, through the fastest section of the track almost. Well, one of the fastest corners at least. Goodness me, that was brilliant. This is even better for Carpe. But what about Iriarte?
Where's he come from? He was off the track and then he had a big tucker. You think you're supposed to, that's upset your confidence. It hasn't upset it at all, has it?
He's hit the reset button completely, and here he is. We're looking forward from him. It's Salmela versus Carpe out front, but Iriarte has well and truly joined the party once again. But look at the gaggle of riders behind them, looking to pick up the pieces if any misfortune befalls the riders out front. Christian Daniel Jr. well in for the hunt for this one, the 70 there. What a performance this is from him.
Yeah, and as Alvaro said to Dominica, you know, there's no plan. And I know that Brian Iriarte said the same thing to me when I spoke to him after practice yesterday. He said, you can have a plan, but these races just get crazy and the plan goes completely out. You've just got to go for it.
Yeah, quite right. Doesn't matter where you are. You can't factor in the plans of 23 other riders out on track, can you? Here they come then, down the back straight. Look at that, how fast again. Rico, that's the kind of aggression we want to see from that pocket rocket,
no.
But he nearly overcooks it. Not quite though, he runs wide onto the blue, keeps it pinned, and he maintains the lead, but for how long? Not long enough!
And blue again, but that's not the green thing. Anyway, it's Alvaro Carpe who has the run again, but he's got Brian Iriarte right on his tail.
This is great stuff. I hope it stays as clean as it's been so far, because this is racing at its finest. Clean, hard moves, no real massive, dangerous, wild shenanigans going on. But look at this, the 2 ultra-fast right-handers coming up then.
And still 10 riders still within a second.
Goodness me. And look at that, Pratama through again into 4th place. How much corner speed does Carpe carry through there? They've really got to do something about that, otherwise they're going to have no chance to overtake him into these final 3 turns.
That's right. It's if he gets it right, if he's that quick through there, that perfect, and he doesn't make a mistake at the last corner, surely he's got this one. But anyway, 2 laps remaining.
Iriarte, 2nd place, but for how long? Rico's up his inside. 2 laps to go. It's all on the table, Peter.
And Moodley, who looked so good earlier on, is now back into 10th place.
Oh, goodness me, that's a real shame for him. I was looking forward to seeing him up front again, but he's still able to pick up any pieces that may be swept away from any shenanigans out front. Here they come onto the back straight again then.
Right, there's a penultimate. Oh, and somebody's off Warrell on the green.
That's Christian Daniel Jr.
But didn't he get a long lap penalty warning already? I'm not sure.
Track limits warning, yeah, he did.
So he could be in trouble, unfortunately. Okay, right, down the back straight. It is the 83 of Alvaro Carpe. But then Rico Salmela. Then the 73 of Valentin Peroni. Oh, my goodness, there's nothing in this, is there?
No, really not.
A lap and a half remaining.
This is a high-speed, ultra-high-speed game of chess. Assen is built for bikes like this, basically, these days. I mean, they're just absolutely ragging them around these corners. A bit of negative, positive camber to keep it tied right in. And look at this double right-hander there. They're like a slingshot out onto this little squirt before the final few corners. Here we go, then. A dress rehearsal for the final lap coming up.
Yeah, let's see. As you said, you know, Alvaro is so good through here. Can he do it perfectly? Or is he going to show the other guys what he's capable of? Oh, my goodness. Wow, he is so good, Matt, isn't he? You're so right. He's so good there. Now, get this perfect. and no one's going to get past him, surely.
Goodness me, how about that for some moves through there? Pugliese up the inside of Veda Pratama. That was brilliant. So there was your dress rehearsal. If Carpe repeats that, he's got the win. But the trouble is, there's 17 corners before then.
Well, that's right. And he's shown the other guys what he can do, hasn't he? So they all know that they can't let him do that because he is just so good. And up the inside
is Peroni. He's trying, but there it is. Carpe just rails it round the outside. There's the alternate line, as you spoke about with Colin Fire, into the Strubben here. Uriarte up the inside of, I think that's Zanni there as well. It is the Italian from about outside the top 5, battling for the podium here.
And all up into 6th gear down the back straight here, as I said, up to 217 kilometres an hour, 135 miles an hour.
Look at that. Oh, it's Peroni versus Carpe, but Peroni backs out. Carpe is on a mission here.
But surely that they don't want to let Carpe lead, do they, in the last corners, because he is so good there.
Uriarte's going to have something to say.
Yeah, they've got to get past him, I think.
Here we go then, some big overtaking opportunities coming up. You've got to hang it out wide here and send it up the inside. But Carpe looks to go on his line. He does, but does he do it well enough? Yes, he does. So here we go then. The double right-hander, the slingshot onto the back straight. We've got Holger Heide coming up, one of my favourite corners on the calendar. Here we go, Peter.
It's Peroni. Peroni's going to do it. He's going to pass Carpe.
He's going up the inside there. Look at that. What a move! What a move!
But Carpe's coming back. Brian Uriarte goes down the outside. It's Uriarte! Uriarte!
Oh,
He's
goodness
got it.
me!
Who's going to be late on the base? Rico's still got it. He's only in 2nd place. But Uriarte has it. Can Rico go up the inside? He cannot. Pratama comes through to 3rd place.
Come on, lads. Uriarte's going to take the win. He does.
Uriarte
oh,
over
goodness
Peroni.
me! Who's got it then? 3rd? It's Peroni. Goodness me, Uriarte wins from nearly high-sided to the moon.
And Salmela just, he was, my goodness, totally impressive.